guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Rachel and I'm a first year medical student. I'm really excited for you guys to see today's video as I'm going to be joined by some of my classmates to present to you high-yield information, stuff that you need to know about viruses, the coronavirus, how our immune system works, hand washing, precautions that you need to know to stay safe and healthy during this kind of crisis that's happening with the coronavirus. I'm also going to have a little disclaimer right now. Just throwing that out there. Regardless of the spreading of the coronavirus, I encourage you guys to always practice healthy habits and precautionary measures to stay healthy. Without further ado, let's get started with today's video.
First off, it's part of a family of viruses. So COVID-19 is a specific subgroup of the family known as coronavirus. So the way that a virus works is it first attaches to a cell and injects its DNA or RNA into the cell. That DNA and RNA tells the cell to make copies of the proteins that it uses. Eventually, these copies mature and then they burst out of the cell, and the cell now spreads hundreds of copies of that virus to the surrounding cells in the body. So our first line of defense is going to be the mucus we secrete in our lungs. It's going to be this barrier that prevents that virus from completing the first step of attaching. Sometimes though, when you get exposed to a lot of viral inoculum, like somebody coughing in your mouth, as disgusting as that is, then the barrier is probably going to fail and those cells are going to become infected. What they do in response to being infected is they secrete molecules, tell everybody, hey, this is a red alert, I'm infected, we need to mobilize the troops now. It's a good first step, but it has a lot of limitations, so we need something better. We use our adaptive immunity. Antibodies are secreted by our plasma cells. They're going to target the virus protein on the cell or the infected cell with high specificity, which makes it very efficient and very quick. The time of an infection, which is interesting, is this transition phase that is where we start to see the symptoms. So for most people, that's going to happen in 4 to 6 days.
Most COVID symptoms, the clinical presentation like we call it, are fever, fatigue, a dry cough, and when the disease progression becomes severe, they'll develop shortness of breath. We're finding that age makes a huge difference. For example, children, young children or teenagers are presenting with very mild symptoms, if any at all, while if you're older, you have a higher chance of severe illness.
So far, there has been no effective treatment for COVID-19. Several potential drug candidates, including nucleoside analogs and DNA synthesis inhibitors, have been proposed, but ultimately at this point, you are the most important piece to this puzzle. The World Health Organization recommends infection control interventions, such as avoiding close contact with people who are suffering from acute respiratory infections, and frequent hand washing, especially after direct contact with ill people or their environment.
Proper hand washing techniques can prevent approximately 1 out of 5 cases of infection. I know that number seems low, but let's look at the big picture. You have 100,000 people that are at risk for being infected. And if people are practicing proper hand washing techniques, 17,000 of them won't get sick. So ultimately, we're going to reduce the number of people that die from infection. So I know you wash your hands a lot throughout the day, after you use the restroom, when you're handling food, after you wash the dishes, whatever it may be, but are you doing it the right way? Hand washing isn't effective really if you're not implementing the right techniques.
Any facts that are given to the public today may be completely overhauled by next week. That's why it's important to stay calm, stick with what you personally can do about it, and try your best not to touch your face. I know it's really hard, but it's really important not to. And please help other people to try to be aware of that as well if they're touching their face, because a lot of people don't even realize that they're doing it.
Right now, I'm actually in my apartment and I'm not talking to anybody and I'm not going out. I am not risking infection of anybody else. Now, do I have coronavirus? Probably not. I just know that I'm symptomatic with, the sniffles and a sore throat. I'm not going to risk getting other people with more compromised immune systems sick. Finally, the last thing that you can do, you can wear a mask. Lucky for me, I happen to have one right here. So not only do I feel protected, but I also feel very pampered right now.
Alright you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Our intentions weren't to scare you or anything of that nature. We just want to share our knowledge with you so you guys can stay healthy and to be safe. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, continue to work hard, and all that good stuff. Okay, bye.
So keep yourself safe this season and buy yourself a face mask, stay indoors, and make sure you wash your hands. Take it easy, guys.